As USL League One continues to grow, one thing remains the same. After a good weekend of USL League One soccer, a good way to cap it off is a night in Tucson, Arizona. Welcome one and all to the broadcast. My name is Mark Schoenster for this matchup between FC Tucson and Forward Madison. Both teams looking for their first win of the league season. We got some visitors fans making the trip across the country. Some home fans getting ready for this home opener here at Keno North Stadium. Should be a great one between these two sides today. A lot of unknowns going into this game, but there's some familiar faces on both sides of the pitch for opposition, starting with Tyler Allen, our Sheraton player to watch. If you're a Madison fan, that's a name that should ring a bell. He was here last season with Domingos, and now he's blasting goals in for FC Tucson. He is a versatile player. John Perlman really likes what he has in Tyler Allen, and he's already off to a great spot with the home side. Meanwhile, for Tucson fans, the name Andrew Wheeler-Omiunu may ring a bell. And once we wind it back all the way to 2019, does that jog your memory a little bit? Andrew Wheeler-Omiunu now donning the Mingos colors, coming back to Keno North Stadium where he scored a screamer of a goal that we saw there. As we see the new concession stand, it's nice and updated, and Tucson looking to be even better, just like the concession stand. We're going to step aside for a moment. When we come back, we have lineups and kickoff coming up here on ESPN+.
Mira esto. Oh Dios, ¿qué es esto? Una tormenta viene.
You're not the one late doing the queue.
The National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning.
As we return to Keno Sports Complex, a storm's a-brewing in Tucson. There are the new monsoon kits making their debut, and look at them in all of their glory. And they'll be looking to find a home victory for the first time in these kits today against Forward Madison. But let's take a look at the home side's lineup to start things off here. John Perlman's side locking up a 4-3-3 to start things off. This lineup brought to you by Smoothie King. Couple of names to look out for outside of Tyler Allen, who we already highlighted. Danny Bedoya, been such a solid presence in the middle of the pitch for Tucson, going on his second season with the club. Gio Calixtro, ever dangerous up top. He'll be trying to find his first goal of the league season. Couple new faces in there as well. A good pairing of Crowell and Master Antonio to start out the year. Crowell coming over from Union Omaha. Meanwhile, on the Madison side, a 3-4-3 for Matt Glazer's crew. Still getting everything configured and figured out. The new coach in his new home. And a lot of new faces as well. A lot of going into this as far as trying to figure out what's the best system for this Forward Madison side. You've got some familiar faces in Jepson, Eric Leonard, Phil Brino, and of course, Andrew Wheeler-Omiunu coming in from Tucson if you're a Tucson fan. And some other faces that have come in and made an impact like Nazim Bartman, who scored that late game goal against Chattanooga on the opening weekend. A lot of chances, though, for some of these players to make a name for themselves. As we approach kickoff time, 81 degrees in Tucson right now. Our head official today is Corbin May. Again, the debut of the Monsoon Kit. Let's take a look at our keys to the game as we get started. Brought to you by Pima Community College. For Tucson, they want to get up on the front early. They have the advantage of being at home. Madison has conceded early in their other games in league action. Meanwhile, for Forward Madison, they did better in that Omaha game, but Matt Glazer was saying that he wanted better execution in the final third, so they'll look to see some more precision when they get the chance on the attack. Tucson have conceded quite a few goals to start off the season, and Madison would be happy to continue that trend in this game today. And that is a fine looking uni right there, I tell you what. And there's our Body Central injury report. Nothing for Madison. A couple of names that have not gotten a start yet this season. Fox Delgado, Jesus. One name that isn't on that list is Derry Korf. He is on the bench today. We may see him as this game progresses. The man who scored the game-winning goal in their first ever playoff game. The first ever League One playoff game, that is, for FC Tucson. Scored it against the Richmond Kickers last season. Win that game 1-0. And we are underway here at Keno North Stadium. It's Forward Madison and FC Tucson. Once again, my name is Mark Schuster. Happy to be on the call with you today. As the sun sets in beautiful Tucson, Arizona. Get the lovely outlines of the mountains in the background. Like I said in the open, got some new West Coast teams, but it just feels right for Tucson closing out the day in League One action. It's how it's been since it started. Both of these teams winless after 3 combined games in league action. Madison with 2 draws, Tucson with the game they'd rather forget, the 4-0 loss to Richmond Kickers to start off the season. It is a work in progress at the start of the year for all these clubs. Teams trying to get acclimated, try to get their fitness back, getting the new players into the system, and maybe the old players if the system has made some drastic changes. According to John Perlman, the head coach of FC Tucson, he said every day in training is the best in terms of understanding. And he said, yeah, sure, there are ups and downs through the weeks as far as how good the training is, but they're grasping the style more and more each day. So he's pleased with the progress the team has been making thus far. We'll look to take another step forward here today. Of course, Madison looking to do the exact same thing. Let's look at one of the new additions to Tucson this season, Burke Failing. 28 minutes in that Richmond loss, but started in their Open Cup victory over Las Vegas Lights. There's a look at Matt Glazer, the head coach of the visiting Forward Madison. His first trip to FC Tucson for the club. And here they come on the attack. This one looking to square towards the middle. Derek Gebhardt plays it to the left. Shot deflected, and it's going to sail off the mark. Audie Jepson, the one asking questions. but some good combination between him, Derek Gebhardt, and Abdou Bakejam. And we're going to get a corner kick under 3 minutes into this one. This a Nova Home Loan Sunrise Branch corner kick. Ball comes swinging in. It's not going to make contact with anybody. Gebhardt tracks it down, serves it back inside. It's headed upward and cleared away by Calixtro. I'm going to put his boot real high up there. Good flexibility displayed by the striker. Someone else has proven his acumen, Derek Gebhardt. Able to dash down the touchline and keep that one in play for the visitors. So Madison has played 2 games to Tucson's 1 in league play. Their last one, a home match against Union Omaha, the reigning champs. And a bit of a rivalry match. It was a 2-2 draw at Breese Stevens Field. And according to Matt Glazer, he said it was an intense game. He said lots of new faces for both sides, but there's still a bit of a rivalry there. He said both sides were also trying to figure themselves out. He thought they did play well against Chattanooga in their opener. Matt Glazer talking about his side. And they were happy with the point. It's going to steal one away at the last moments at CHI Memorial. But versus Omaha, he thought they played better. Everyone thought they played better, and were a little more frustrated that they weren't able to come away with 3 points. Mentioned that they made some individual mistakes still, but they operated better offensively. And ultimately, every step forward, you take those here early season, you want to get everyone on the same page and develop an understanding of the plan of each other and of the opponents. What is being asked of you. One cleared out by Luca Mastrantonio. Looks like we got a good crowd here today. The Tucson faithful. Seeing the league home opener, their first chance also for a home game on the weekend. Their game against Las Vegas Lights falling in the middle of the week. You're drumming, you're chattering. Here's some kids chanting. And that's exactly what FC Tucson loves to hear. Look at that footwork, still going. Weaving through some traffic and keeping the ball alive for Madison. Chipped over to Gebhardt. Gebhardt's got some speed. Well tracked back by Tarn Weir. Left back for FC Tucson. Promising from Madison here early in the game. So keep mentioning that Las Vegas Lights game. A USL Championship side in the Open Cup came to visit Tucson. And FC Tucson, the League One side, the supposed underdogs, coming away with the 3-2 victory. Now here's Bartman for Madison. Nazim Bartman. Cross goes well too high. It's collected by Mikey Maldonado. Mitch Osmond progressing the ball forward. Gebhardt. Tap this one back. Bedoya somehow able to keep that one out of play and in possession of the home side. And dashing down that right-hand side, but can't get to it was Yuki Shibata. Hit from the outside boot from Louis Perez was what sent him running. And Now we'll see if Tucson can find some possession on the attacking third. Failing. Tried to play into the 18. It's cleared away. Here's Weir. And the offside flag is going to come up. Give the ball back to Madison. That's what I was talking about. 3-2 victory over Las Vegas Lights. And talking to John Perlman about that game, he said, we took what Vegas gave us in the second half. Tyler Allen in particular was great at exposing them, winning corners and eventually scoring that goal. And he mentioned we didn't show them an inch. Talk about two contrasting results to start the year for FC Tucson. Who could be on the pessimistic side and say, the 4-0 loss to Richmond is not a pretty showing. But then you turn around and beat a USL Championship side in the US Open Cup. With 350 days of sunshine a year and wide open spaces ready for you to explore, Tucson is perfect for your next adventure. Check out visittucson.org or find us on your favorite social channel. I can't speak for you watching, but I personally am a sucker for some mountains. Tucson providing some beautiful scenics here and of course all around its area here in Arizona. Clunking collision there between Bartman and Tarnweer. And he's going to go into the books. His second yellow card of the season for Nazim Bartman. One of the new additions, but seemingly a welcome one, having already scored for the Mingos. So he's going to have to be careful for the rest of this game. Just late. And that's the end of that. Hope Tarnweer's okay. This Madison side, as we take a look at this Vantage West Credit Union yellow card for Nazim Bartman.
Vantage West yellow card for Madison.
Couldn't move there. Tucson. Bedoya heads it forward, but a whistle is going to stop that possession. And Bedoya maybe would have wanted Tucson to give the option to play advantage there. It's a Tucson free kick, and Luis Perez had some space on the left side. That's probably what John Perlman is arguing. They were in a good spot. Here's Weir. Can he keep it in play? Not on this occasion. Goal kick for forward Madison. Phil Brino so far has been picking daisies. Returning as the Madison keeper this season. Did a lot of good last year for the Mingos. So Tarnweer will throw this one in. Give it back to his back line. The center back pairing of Jacob Crowell and Luca Mastrantonio. Now Bedoya plays it forward. Luis Perez. He's got a man to his left. Instead crosses it inside. It's not on the right wavelength. It's failing. But a corner kick. Nope. May have been offside. Wasn't kept in play in that effort, so it will be a goal kick for Madison. There was a deflection there, but either the ball was out of play or the run was made late. So with a new coach, of course, comes a new system, a new way of doing things. Matt Glazer coming over from Sacramento Republic. coach Ford Madison. And that takes a lot of time to implement everything you want to do, especially when it's an intensive system. As this ball crosses inside for Bartman, can't connect with him. Glazer was saying that we're layering the info to the players. We don't want to bog them down with too much information that they can't absorb. He said, one thing we do like in this team thus far, though, when it comes to our progress, is the resilient spirit that we've demonstrated. They have gone down in both their games and have been able to find equalizers to come away with the point in both of them. That one searching for Calixtro down the pitch, but too far ahead and into the 18-yard box. Phil Brino is on top of it. Gebhard will knock it back. That was a touch from Andrew Wheeler-Omiunu. And that one threaded forward, looking for Audie Jepson. Carlos Marancio between the pipes today for FC Tucson, and seemingly the guy, as it were, for FC Tucson, coming back to the club after a year spent in Connecticut with Hartford Athletic. Andrew Wheeler-Omiunu on the ball now. He'll tap it to his left for Maldonado. Here's Mitch Osmond, savvy veteran that was added to the squad this season for Madison. And whistle blown, foul, ends that offensive spell for the Mingos. Celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL League One. Choose what you play with at www.selectsportamerica.com. Select, League's choice, player's choice. Devin Shaw that was taken to ground there, earning the foul. Scouting out this forward Madison side, John Perlman said that the Mingos have conceded early in 2 of those games and have come back in both of those games. He also mentioned that they had 3 different looks in the 3 affairs that they played in, including that Open Cup game that they won. As Tucson bears forward, only for it to be stepped on and won back by Madison. He said John Perlman mentioned that Matt Glazer and the coaching staff are definitely trying to figure out what fits best for his squad. But one thing's for certain, this will be a possession-oriented team. Perez is able to keep that one in play. Louis Perez. That's a good tackle on the right-hand side by Derek Gebhard. At least from Gebhard's right. And we've got another corner kick. A Nova Home Loans Sunrise Branch corner kick for FC Tucson. Danny Bedoya, a dangerous person on set pieces, will look to set in a nice ball for FC Tucson. Also has the option to give it short to Yuki Shibata. Ball swings inside, headed back towards the sender. Here's a volley shot, 6 down, but not enough. The volleyed effort from Shaw. Not a bad idea. That could be a tricky ball to save, but didn't have quite enough dip. Possession-oriented side with some talented, experienced guys on the roster. That was the assessment of John Perlman looking at the opposition. He mentioned, we want to start fast in this game and be resilient in stopping goals. having conceded 6 in their 2 competitive games to start the season. 4 to Richmond and 2 to Las Vegas Lights. It's almost carelessly given away. Abdou Mbake-Jam was close by. Meanwhile, on Matt Glazer's perspective, looking at the home side, he said that they're a very good team. He said that he knows John Perlman and that he's a very intense coach. And there's a look at him now. He said that they need to be better defensively because Tucson have some strong offensive pieces. Also commented that they're a scrappy bunch and that beating a championship team is nothing to scoff at. And then outside of the team, he said that there's a bit of travel, of course, as well, and the guys are excited to play on some grass. And then looking inward, he said, we need to be more disciplined. Tucson making a push forward. Shibata tangled up and taken down by Rod. And it's going to be a free kick for the home side. One of the 3 center backs starting today, Cyrus Rod for Forward Madison. So we got a corner kick on the left-hand side, and now a free kick on the right. Doesn't really matter where it is. Danny Bedoya is going to be around. It's him and Louis Perez. We'll see which of them takes it. I think it's always a safe bet to say number 8 is going to have his say on it. But perhaps a mix-up could catch Madison off guard. And that will be the case. Perez tees it inside, the header towards goal. But in the end, it's a sputtering effort. I think that clipped off of Burke failing. Not a bad service. Couldn't get the heat packed behind that header. Take a look at this right sure replay. Doesn't really get a header on it at all, just deflected off of him. Bird failing coming from Kirkland, Washington. So although on the Tucson side of things, the focus will be on locking down defensively after how many goals they conceded. When we brought up to Matt Glazer the idea of, do you look at those 6 goals they've conceded and look to see if you can take advantage of that, he seemed to dismiss the idea. He said that every team is working on adjusting right now, including Tucson, including us. And so we're just going to focus on doing our thing. And yeah, we want to be good offensively, of course. But it's not like we're at the point in the season where you look at goals and go, all right, well, there's a flaw or a common weakness that pervades Tucson this season. Because at this point in time, there's so few goals and so few games that it's not like you can capitalize off of tendencies and consistencies just yet. So hearing word that Muang Sunday might be getting warmed up on the sideline. There is consideration happening yet. Won't confirm it for you, but maybe a player that's not feeling quite right for Tucson. Once we have more on that, we'll be sure to let you know. Keno North Stadium upgrading its concessions, looking to provide a better service for the fans, but one thing that's been consistently good about Keno North is this nice grass pitch. It has been good to play on, and it's done Tucson well. John Perlman said that the field is in great shape right now. said that we love playing here. We love our fans. He mentioned that we've had a full week without losing a day to prep. And he mentioned that we just love representing and playing in Tucson. He said, yeah, the pitch plays quickly, but he thinks it's more because they've had the chance to start games better at home. Teams that come in respect the way they play. It's a big pitch, and it gives them the chance to get off on the right foot on more occasions at home than when they're on the road. Devin Shaw is on the grass. Mentioned earlier about a substitution maybe coming into play. They're still in the decision-making process on that one. So Shaw's on the grass. He was the person they were considering subbing out. They're going to stop the game to make sure all the boxes are checked. So Shaw will get walked off. We'll see what comes next for him and for the FC Tucson coaching staff and what they opt to do here. It's a busy, congested schedule right now in April. So Shaw is going to make his way off, and Muang Sunday will come in his stead. Obviously, that's not the way Shaw wanted this evening to go. So this is going to be a concussion sub. You saw them taking the concussion test a moment ago, so it will not count to their total amount of substitutions they make. And it doesn't waste one of their substitution windows. This, of course, in an effort to prevent head injuries in the game. This being a right shore substitution. 25 minutes in. Muang Sunday started the Open Cup victory over Las Vegas Lights, did not appear in their first League One game, so this is his official league debut for FC Tucson. So there has been a correction. It was not a concussion substitution that was used. They end up using a regular one. As this ball gets squared in the middle, headed away. To continue that thought, Madison, because of this, do not get awarded an extra substitution. Ultimately, it was actually the wrong substitution slip they turned. It was the concussion slip, but that was not the intention. When they confirmed it, Tucson waved it off and said, no, this is a regular substitution. So there won't be a bonus substitution for the Mingos today, which I'm sure they would have been happy to use given they too have a busy schedule. Both of these teams having advanced to the third round of the U.S. Open Cup. Osmond chips it over to the left side. It's brought down, but the flag goes up. Jepson on the receiving end. There was no one within sight of him. One way to help understand what a coaching staff and what a team is looking for is to utilize the film room, and as you get each game in, you can really focus in on certain aspects that you've got more tape to display and demonstrate. According to Matt Glazer, he said they're very extensive in the film room right now. A lot of group sessions, including a lot of individual sessions as well. So talking about big picture and then getting a chance to talk to each player about their individual roles and their decisions they make throughout the game, what space they're taking, what position they're sitting in, what runs, what cuts they're making, all of that fun stuff. We've got new guys, a new staff, a new system, so it'll take time, or the words of Matt Glazer. That's just one pin in the array of things it takes to acclimate a new team when you're the new guy around, or new guys, since there's a whole new staff, a lot of new players on top of that. What's the process? As we take a look at some of the scores throughout the day, we've had some good ones. Charlotte collecting their first ever League One victory. Here's Derek Gebhard, prodding forward. And was not in the right spot when the ball was dished back towards him. And with all this fun stuff going around in League One, it's nice to see things going to see so many games happening this weekend. And all that's left is this game right here. So a 0-0 draw between Tormenta and Union Omaha. The Chattanooga Red Wolves pulling off a 1-0 victory over the Richmond Kickers, giving Richmond their first loss of the season. We're in this early in the season. You're going to get a lot of firsts, first wins, first losses. Both these teams looking to collect that first win here tonight. And then, of course, on the receiving end, neither of them want to collect that first L of the season. Check that. Tucson lost to Richmond. Mental lapse right there. Tucson 0-1-0. Madison 0-0-2. But either way, a goose egg in the column that neither of these teams would desire to have. So a third of the way through this game, 30 minutes transpired. Both sides had a moment or two, a lapse or two with a chance. But a 0-0 scoreline, the deserving one at this point. Nutmeg there. Here's Bakke and Bakke Jam. Over to the left-hand side, Jepson. Check that, that was Maldonado. Now Osmond decides to loft that one himself and will float out without a care for a goal kick. Wearing the captain's armband, Mitch Osmond, one of the many leadership guys that has joined the team this season. 28-year-old center back from Sydney, Australia. Andrew Wheeler-Omiunu doing his best impression of a backpack there, earning the foul. So you hear these fans, you hear them chanting, cheering. You hear these improvements that they're making to the concessions, to the stadium experience. Got the chance to hear from Amanda Powers, the president of FC Tucson, coming into this game this week. She mentioned the efforts that this club has taken. This ball rolls inside, pops up, and Crowell nods it away. Andrew Wheeler-Omiunu shielding off Bedoya. That one will roll all the way out for a goal kick. Stay up to date on all things FC Tucson by following @FC Tucson on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and download the official FC Tucson mobile app. As I mentioned, growing the game here, Amanda Powers said that there's been a lot of education effort over these past 2 years, having to teach people the difference between Tucson Club, Tucson Pro. And they wanted to, this past offseason, figure out how to introduce the massive Mexican-American population in Tucson to the club and get them involved. And during the off-season, they held watch parties. They had the preseason showcase games with both USL Championship and MLS sides. And here comes Allen, taking matters into his own hands, dashing down the pitch. Now Calixtro, he's knocked down. And the ref says fair game. Now Gebhard. It's decleated right there. Knocked off his feet. One back by Madison. And then Bakejam whiffs on that opportunity. What a spot he found himself in. And I don't think he can believe it. Well, what a moment that we saw on both ends. Crunching effort, and then on the other side of things, Bartman finds Bakejam, and he just slips. Lost his footing. Those right shirt replays giving us a chance to look back on what could end up be big moments in this game. Cool little thing from that preseason showcase as we get a booking here for Madison. Christian Enriquez, one of the returning players from last year, going into the books. Wallace Lapsley was in one of those preseason showcase games, the starting keeper for Tucson last season. He was on a trial with Seattle, so it was a cool moment for some kids who looked up to Lapsley last season as a keeper. Got to see him come back and play. Amanda Power said it herself, though. We want to demonstrate the soccer pyramid here. So they had watch parties, including over 12,000 people showing up for the US-Mexico game back in March. What's really impressive about that event in particular, that one, was that it was the same night as a University of Arizona Sweet 16 basketball game. That yellow card to Vantage West Credit Union. The offside flag goes up. But they didn't air that Sweet 16 game for the Arizona Wildcats and still got 1,200 people to show up. Apparently a lot of people called in asking, and I don't know if you wanted those people coming in because I make the event not about the soccer game, but about the Sweet 16 game, and I'm sure there are tons of places airing that game. But to get 1,200 people, an impressive feat. The reigning champs race their way to the Midwest to face a new-look Indy 11 as the USL on ESPN continues. Don't miss the Indy 11 take on Orange County SC Sunday, April 24th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Deportes. Now we get another offside flag going up. Lock in the best seat and price for season tickets by visiting fctucson.com/tickets. Season tickets are starting at $10 per game and include exclusive benefits. I would say that some people got that memo already. Got a good group of people here today for their league opener. As well, it's a good deal. Bartman lays it off to his left. Searching ball forward, trying to connect with Shibata. That'll be a Tucson throw. So when it comes to the Open Cup, FC Tucson are going to play host to California United Strikers FC. A great opportunity for FC Tucson. But I got to circle what's happening next week on the Madison side, playing host to Minnesota United, an MLS side. We've got a foul on Danny Bedoya. The one on the ground is Nazim Bartman. Just a great opportunity for Madison, getting the chance to host an MLS team at Breese Stevens Field. I'm sure it's going to be rather wild. I asked Matt Glazer about it, and he said it's fantastic news. He mentioned there's been a buzz around the town. Clubs dream of having this scenario. And he mentioned we take the Open Cup very seriously, but right now we have big business in Tucson, and the guys are up to it. So I know there's a big event coming on Wednesday, but league play is of utmost importance. This ball sent inside, headed back across, and ultimately knocked away. And Luis Perez goes down. Osman Fun on top of him after slipping up. Failing with the ball forward. Shibata able to bring it down. He whiffs on it. It's cleared away. No foul called. And I think that's the right call. Yuki Shibata. Not a bad cross. All the way down the pitch. Able to corral it in, but then couldn't put your laces through it. A little bit of a bobbly exchange there ends up resulting in a Tyler Allen foul. Once again, Tyler Allen, the former Mingo from just last season. We saw his goal in the Open Cup game, which would end up being the game winner. Perez holding it up, gets past one stabbing defender in Christian Enriquez. So both these teams, busy, busy, busy. Weir plays it out to the left-hand side for Luis Perez. Plays it back to Sunday. Handball from Bedoya ends what looked like was a promising buildup for Tucson. John Perlman's side have somewhat of a plan for personnel, according to him, as far as keeping legs healthy, because they too have a game in the middle of the week, and then another game after that next weekend. Well, actually, they got a little bit of a break after that, but still, they have been busy. He said that although we have a plan, if a player is playing well, we're going to keep them in the game. We want them to continue to play well on the pitch. And although they want to win that Open Cup game against California United Strikers, he said that Madison is our #1 priority right now. So similar messages from both sides. Of course, neither side taking this game lightly. Neither believe it to be a bigger fish to fry in the future. Burke failing. Dish it out to his right-hand side. Feeling some pressure from forward Madison. That's a nice chip up the pitch. Some good numbers going forward. Still going with it now. That was Tyler Allen. Had players to his left and right, but opted to take it himself. And at the end of the day, a fruitless effort from FC Tucson after a great ball sent forward. We've seen some great passes from the back line for Tucson. Here's Calixtro. Now Perez. Keeps his footing. Look to square it. Play will continue in favor of forward Madison. Gebhardt bring this one down. He got a touch on it, but proved too tall a task. Perez able to bring this one down. Bedoya hooks it forward to Calixtro. He's got a player out wide. Finds him. That one deflected away off the cross from Failing. It'll be another corner kick, a Nova Home Loan Sunrise Branch corner kick to be precise. And Tucson with another chance to find something here. Neither side with a shot on target. Neither side able to test the keeper, of course.
Let's make some noise for this Nova Home Loan Sunrise Branch corner kick.
On the ball is Perez. Sends this one inside, and it's headed upward. Bedoya can bring this one down. Getting there first is for Madison and Derek Gebhardt. Actually, that was Andrew Wheeler-Omiunu who brought it down. 3 minutes of stoppage time here before the halftime whistle from Corbin May. That Smoothie King stoppage time, 3 minutes. Audie Jepson taps it out to the left side. Sliding effort. Ultimately ends up pinging off of Luca Mastrantonio, giving Madison the throw in. Good work there from Shibata to continue to defend, but the Mingo's still on the press. Another effort is gobbled away. Excellent defensive work. Not letting any space be taken advantage of. That's something John Parlin will be happy to see. Up lofted forward. Ultimately to no avail. The ball seeking Derek Gebhardt, but at the end of the day, it's too far and into the arms of Carlos Marancio. That touch from Perez, whether it was incidental or not, was pretty good, but a great sliding challenge from Mitch Osmond. He thought that he was able to deflect that ball off of Perez, but ref said it came off of Osmond last. And that one has less debate. Danny Bedoya getting his foot on it last. Actually, they're going to throw up the flag, and it'll be a free kick. So we're under half a minute to go here in the first half. All the way down the pitch. So we're on the closing moments here of the first half. 0-0 between the two sides. And in the end, I think that's the deserved scoreline. Offensively, both sides still trying to get themselves figured out. After 45 minutes, the score is 0-0. No shots on target. Both goalkeepers just sitting and watching as this one transpires. If you're planning on watching the second half, don't leave your screen, because we got some good halftime content coming up your way next, including if the number 2 means anything significant to League One this season. It does, so you may want to check that out coming up here in a second. But after 45, it is scoreless between FC Tucson and Forward Madison. We'll step aside for just a moment. Harp International halftime content coming up for you right next on ESPN+.
Looking to get away in Tucson? Well, the world's gathering place is right here with us at the Sheraton. A modern escape in Midtown that keeps you close to the action. The Glow Ball restaurant brings you flavor from all over the world without ever having to leave the hotel, while the venue, Tucson's most dynamic event center, is on site for all of your event needs, from conference to cocktail hours. The world's gathering place, in the heart of the Sonoran Desert, the Sheraton Tucson.
This isn't a bank ad, so we don't need to show you vague community stock footage. We can show you places you know and call home, because we call them home too. When you manage your money with a credit union, you're taking true ownership of your finances and how your money impacts the community. Stop letting banking just happen to you. Bring your money home to Vantage West.
I chose Pima Community College mostly for the smaller class sizes. It's very conducive to learning.
I like the one-on-one attention you get with the teachers.
At PCC, I don't feel lost. There's always someone to help.
And the teachers know your name, so that's really cool.
The more that I'm learning, the more I get excited about learning and coming to class.
It's such a great community, and I love the hands-on learning.
At PCC, I'm making my someday today.
FC Tucson fans, you have a choice when it comes to your medical imaging provider. With several locations throughout Tucson, SimonMed offers a full range of services, including X-ray, MRI, CT scans, and more. Whether you're looking to get back on the playing field or need answers to your healthcare concerns, SimonMed Imaging. See tomorrow, today. Visit simonmed.com or call 1-866-614-8555.
Welcome back to Keno North Stadium for halftime, brought to you by Carf International. Well, I know the season just began, but don't tell the folks at FC Tucson that there was ever really an off-season, because for them, they kept pushing and plotting and reconnecting with the community once the soccer season rolled up. They held watch parties to enjoy the U.S. men's national team qualifier games throughout the off-season. They held it at several different downtown establishments, 5 to be exact, including gaining a considerable amount of people to attend at these games. Once they reached March, when they played Mexico the second time around, they actually couldn't even hold it at a bar anymore. They had to go to a convention center, and they had over 1,000 people, and there it is right there. Tons of people to see the USA versus Mexico match. Really growing the beautiful game, the love for it, and also at the same time exposing FC Tucson to more of the locale. And as the qualification season winded to an end with the win at Panama and the lose but qualification against Costa Rica, it was just a busy, eventful, and successful offseason for FC Tucson. I don't know about you all, but I wish I could have been at some of those parties. Looked like a great time, and they're hoping that that translates to those fans coming to the games this season to support FC Tucson. But to pivot back to USL League One, to start last week's action, it was a crazy game on Friday. The Charlotte Independents hosted their first ever League One game, and they continue to trend in that one against Central Valley Fuego, where both teams had a brace, which seems to be an interesting trend that's happening this season.
2 weeks of USL League One soccer. We might already have a nominee for Game of the Year over in Charlotte at Memorial Stadium. We start with Mbuyu, deflection off the wall for his first of the match. We'll tune back in for him later on. And then, of course, Fuego responding just 7 minutes later with a finish in there by Ramos. And a beautiful layoff at that as they hit the road in what was yet another road trip for them in their opening campaign as a side here in USL League One. Well, 2 in 7 minutes. Let's make it 3 in 9 minutes, as it was Ibarra. Great touch in there, and Mbuyu finishes off his brace here to start off his campaign here in 2022. Then a flick on, tied it up from Fuego in the 81st. And then, hey, there's another duty, puts one in. 3-2, Charlotte getting the 3 points at home, but hey, Fuego, they had other thoughts. Knocked away. Bijev finds his second of the night with a bit of magic in there. And 2 opposing braces right there between the two sides. Fantastic finish, 3-3 between Charlotte and Fuego last weekend. 5th time overall, opposing players having braces in USL League One history. Well, let's visit the other 2 braces to start off 2022 in the league. Viñals had his second career brace here in USL League One against Tucson in the opening weekend, a 4-0 win for Richmond at City Stadium. And Viñals, watch this here, he's going to be lethal with that secondary run behind Terzaghi all season. He finds his second, the assist from Bolaños to help out Richmond to the win. That was the first brace of the opening weekend, and there was another in the opening weekend. Back over to Fuego. Christian Cheney, great story, played with Fresno FC a few years ago in USL Championship. Now he's scoring for Fuego and gets the first one there against the Greenville Triumph. Beautiful opening here as he slotted that one on past Christensen to open the scoring at Triumph Stadium. Then later on, literally a poacher's goal in the back as Christensen got caught under his own feet there, and Cheney finished it off with a brace here to open up his campaign. And he did have a brace over with Fresno FC back in his USL Championship days, so his second career brace here across the USL leagues. 4 braces already through 8 matches, 199 matches with at least a brace to this point. Headed into the 200s as we continue our weekend here in USL League One. Coming up, we'll take a look at news and notes from around USL League One.
Taking the lead.
Great finish. Cue the smoke.
It's a goal for Orange County SC and their first of the season.
And that's full time. The old guard with a new trophy. Orange County wins the USL Championship final.
Welcome back to some more halftime content here. Some big news around the league, of course, the first of which being the U.S. Open Cup continuing to be interesting. Both these teams are actually playing in it this next week, and we'll see when they're slated to play coming up next. Also, the Central Valley Fuego have got their head man, and it's one with a ton of experience. So if you already thought Central Valley had experience on the pitch, now they've got it on the coach's sideline as well. As we look at our team of the week, Audie Jepson making an appearance after scoring off of a pen last week. No one from Tucson, but they also didn't play last weekend. So let's take a look at our C. Charles scoreboard from the earlier games here today. The Charlotte Independents with a win. The 2-1 win is their first in League One history. A draw from North Carolina and Greenville, as well as South Georgia, Tormenta, and Union Omaha. Chattanooga Red Wolves also won their game today. We don't see it on the scoreboard, but it did occur. A 1-0 victory over the Richmond Kickers. So we got some Open Cup games on Tuesday and on Wednesday, including FC Tucson going up against California United Strikers FC. FC Tucson playing host again at Keno North Stadium, and they'll be looking to push into the fourth round. Meanwhile, on Wednesday, that's when Madison have that big game hosting Minnesota United. You can also see some of the other League One sides. They went 5-2 against the USL Championship in the second round. How crazy is that? Pulling up cup set after cup set. Just really impressing as far as the Open Cup is concerned. Meanwhile, here's our upcoming schedule brought to you by Athletic Brewing Company. FC Tucson's next game is against the Red Wolves. That's a big one. And outside of that, that is it from this halftime segment. Highlights and stats coming up next on ESPN+. Believe that we didn't have any goals in the first half. Here are some proof, Your Honor. As we look at the CARF International halftime highlights. Madison with some chances. Nothing too substantial. This was one of the better looks. A deflected shot from Audie Jepson. So good connection between Mbake Jam, Derek Gebhardt, and Audie Jepson. At the end, nothing to come of it. And then this was a bit of a deflected shot that bounced off a couple bodies and then ended up sputtering into the hands of Phil Brino. It was a half where these goalkeepers didn't have a ton to do. Derek Gebhardt taken off his cleats there, but then a careless pass gives a great chance to Abdou Mbake Jam, and he slips up. That's got to be the moment of the half thus far. The chance that was missed could have been 1-0 there. In a really good spot for these two sides. And we're trying to make something happen, but at the end of it, we're going to get two Madison. Matthias Cassini coming in for Nizam. Strang, 20 years old. Cassini, 26. Working their way onto the pitch. Last second tweaks. Get the chance to talk them at half, but when one more idea pops into your head or one more thing you want to remind them of, just grab them for one more moment before the whistle blows, and then all you can do is shout. So both sides have made their switches as far as their sides of the pitch. Those two substitutions brought to you by Right Sure, of course. And here we go, 45 more minutes on this to end the Saturday of some great League One action across the country. It's Tucson in forward Madison. Both looking to find that first W on the year, at least in league play. Both have advanced in the U.S. Open Cup. As we get a visual of those substitutions that just took place. Substitutions have been impactful for Madison so far this season. They've done well with them. And we'll see how both these teams, after some adjustments, which I've already talked about, these two teams are in a big adjustment phase as far as getting everything into full swing. A lot of new faces, whether it be on the pitch or in the staff, and that just takes time. And you can practice all you want, you could scrimmage all you want, but it's not until you get into a competitive game that you can really feel things out. It's just different. Still a wonderful day in Tucson, Arizona. 76 degrees as it stands currently. I know the Madison players are thankful to be out of the bitter cold that's in Madison right now as they still wait for warmer seasons to come. Just a relief to play in some heat, I'm certain. There's Luca Mastrantonio. I'll give it to Jacob Crowell. The two of them, the center backs for FC Tucson. After some hacking away, it's still going to be forward Madison ball here. Not nifty little back heel, maintain possession for the Mingos. Just might as well give it a go. If nothing else, it messes up where the ball is going as far as what Tucson's intending. Maldonado, good pass forward to Enriquez. And that one will roll without finding another Mingo boot across the goal line and for a goal kick. That was the pass from Mateus Cassini, one of the two substitutes. To see as the fans continue to chant. FC Tucson looking to continue to build and grow that community here. Really wasn't an off season at all for them, at least for the front office. They kept things going, trying to ride the wave of the improbable comeback they had last season. They were sitting in the bottom of the table halfway through the season, and then they shifted into a high gear, and they just trucked through the rest of the League One schedule. It slipped their way into the playoffs the last weekend of the season, and then ended up even winning a game while they were at it and hosting one. And they didn't want to let that go to waste. So the events came, and they kept on coming, and then suddenly, oh, we're playing Richmond. And then we have an Open Cup game against the Las Vegas Lights. And then we have our league home opener tonight against Ford Madison. Just want to keep that ball rolling. Jepson thought about moving forward, but retreated once finding he had nowhere to go. Rod plays it out to the left-hand side for Maldonado. I mean, another name that if you're a League One follower, played for North Texas last season, and now sees himself in Forward Madison colors. Here he is on the ball again. Slowly moving forward is Forward Madison. And a free kick has just been awarded, drawn by Christian Enriquez. And they're going to have to retake that one. One thing's for certain, with how busy both these teams have been with getting into the swing of the season, having Open Cup games, so playing games in the middle of the week, playing on the weekend, back and forth they go. You do get a chance to test out your depth even before you're really in mid-season form. And talking to Matt Glazer about the depth on his team, he said that we've got a lot of it. He just said some guys just aren't at 90 minutes fitness yet. Get this free kick waiting. It's Jepson who sends it inside, the deflection towards the net. And then nearly had a second ping that would have redirected it right on frame. Jeremiah Strang moments away from what would have been a great chance on goal. At the end, it was off the mark, and it wasn't something for Carlos Marancio to handle. One nice thing that seems to already be instilled in the Forward Madison side, according to Matt Glazer, is that they've got that next man up culture. So a lucky thing that they've already got instilled amongst the players. He mentioned that if you look at the substitutions from their games, those players have come in and have made a difference on the result. And he mentioned that's not hard to do, or it's not easy to do. You're coming in cold off the bench, both figuratively and literally when you're playing in March and April at Breese Stevens Field. Many could see it as an advantage to come in and have not played 50, 60, 70 or so minutes of a game and be fresh, but it takes time to get into the swing of a game, especially early in the season when you haven't had a ton of time to base prior performances off of. So we'll see how Cassini and Strang do, having been subbed in at halftime. Some pressure from Cassini now. Ends up bearing some fruit. Enriquez takes the keeper off his line. And a long-range shot from Forward Madison puts them in the lead. A laser point effort from Christian Enriquez. He kept his head on a swivel and caught the keeper off guard. Christian Enriquez's first goal of the season. What a moment. Cassini with the pressure, gets some help, and Enriquez, eyes grow wide, and just whacks it. Marancio was not prepared. And Enriquez notching in that first goal this year, returning as a Mingo from last season, was a mid-season signee last year. You know he's got a boot on him. He scored off of a marvelous free kick, if I remember. It was the last game they played last season against the Red Wolves. And now Forward Madison have got the lead. They didn't have that in either of their other two league games, so this is a first for them. This is a mental lapse in a way for FC Tucson as well. It was something John Perlman was talking about defensively. He said we've conceded 6 times in 2 games, and that's not good enough. He mentioned they were better against Vegas, but he was still disappointed. He said they need to be more focused in transition and on set pieces. And I think that was a moment where there was some lapse in concentration. They thought they were moving forward. Some pressure won the ball back from Madison, and before they could get reacclimated, Christian Enriquez was firing a shot. Good on his part. Tucson is an offensive team, John Perlman said, but the best teams in the league are the ones that can lock down defensively. So with a 1-0 scoreline, work still needs to be done. Meanwhile, Madison will definitely look to take this advantage and continue to push forward with it. This is a new spot for them to be in, sitting on a lead. They've already demonstrated they can come back from behind. He's failing. Cuts out wide to the left. Earns his team a throw. That'll be the end of that. It's a forward Madison throw. You still hear the chants from the Tucson faithful, and that's, of course, a sign of a fan base that is getting what their role in this is. Yeah, it's easy to chant after you score a goal. It's easy to chant when your team is winning. But when the home side is behind, you got to keep chanting. That's something that the Madison faithful have down pat. Matt Glazer acknowledged that he has a good group of fans there in Madison, and that even after a player makes a mistake, the Madison crowd continue to chant and cheer in their favor. They're just as loud even when there's a bit of a fallout in the play. He said that gives you an extra boost, and we're lucky to have that as a club. Now we have to repay them on the pitch. Talking about the Madison faithful in Tucson. Now need to harness the energy they're getting from the home side fans to find a response. Strang pushing forward, trying to split the difference between the center backs. And now Tucson on the counter. Here comes Shibata. Yuki Shibata still pushing. Cutting inside, still trying to get through the wall. It's still Shibata, and it's collected by Phil Brino. The effort there on the run from the Japanese forward. Yuki Shibata kept going, even when it seemed like the run was over, and somehow found his way through some more defenders as we look at this right shore replay. He veers into the middle, continues to step through, and despite some hacks, some slashes, the ball pinged around and came back to his feet, but a little too far ahead of him. But they need runs like that. Sunday that gave it back to the back line. The early sub in this game. Now Shibata once again thought about running forward and opts to play it back to Bedoya. Good shift ball forward. Weir has it in the left flank. Still Tucson pushing. And they're going to play advantage and now bring it back for the free kick. So a Tucson free kick here. The challenge from Mitch Osmond. Declared a foul play. They wanted to see it through, though, before bringing it back for a free kick. That's your standard procedure from our head official, Corbin May. So another set piece for Tucson. Once again, Luis Perez and Danny Bedoya are by the dead ball. It's going to be Bedoya. Ball serviced inside. The header goes over. Gio Calixtro. Haven't gotten to say his name a ton today. Sitting up top that formation. I need to get him more involved. Don't miss a minute of the action in 2022. Whether your club is on the road or at home, catch nearly every second of USL League One action on ESPN+, the home of the USL, MLS, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. That leg swiped through both of the legs of the Tucson player there, and that is not good news for Cyrus Rod because that's his second yellow card. So forward Madison, up a goal but down a man. As we take a look at this challenge once again, Rod clipping through the airborne Danny Bedoya. And that is a Vantage West Credit Union red card. And so this has just gotten a lot more interesting. How does this one pan out? Madison have to hold on for about 30 minutes. They have a 1-goal lead. And you could see the coaches huddling together, trying to figure out how they're going to come away with a victory here, because that changes your approach. Rod also coming back for his second season with Madison, now has to make his way to the bench. There's a goal from Enriquez that gave Madison the lead. But now a second yellow card for Cyrus Rod. Wait for Rod to be escorted away from the pitch, and we're good to go. And this is an opportunity for Tucson to get back into this one. Momentum swing in the making. Jepson able to draw the foul there off of Danny Bedoya. So early on in this game that you can't be thinking about just bunkering down, sitting in a low block and letting this one go. You still got to make some things happen here, or else you're going to wear down your defense, and eventually you're going to give, especially with the offensive talent that Tucson has. Now here come Madison on the attack, though. Down a player, Cassini. Jepson knocks it back to Cassini. Sunday, able to reclaim it for FC Tucson. Now here comes Tyler Allen, the former Mingo, dashing down the grass. And his pass is too light. It's plucked away. One back by Mikey Maldonado. This is a moment, if you're on the Madison side of things, that you rely on your leadership. Matt Glazer mentioned that he's got some great leaders on this team with different experiences from different places. He says you've got Eric Leonard, who has that Madison background. He's been around for all 4 years of its existence. It's Tucson pushing forward. This ball skating across the middle, knocked away by Eric Leonard, who we were just talking about. So Eric Leonard, the Madison guy, if you will, one of the big leaders on this team. We've got Andrew Wheeler-Omiunu, who was in Sac Republic, as we get another booking here. Louis Perez, the one collecting the yellow card, his first of the season.
Vantage West yellow card, FC Tucson, number 13, Louis Perez.
So he'll go into the book. We'll take a look at this on the right shirt replay. Stepping into the opposition, that's gonna earn a yellow. And we have got a Tucson substitution, and it's a big one. Coming into the game is Derry Korf. You can see him on the right-hand side of your screen. Coming in for Yuki Shibata, this right shirt substitution. Derry Korf making his debut for the season with FC Tucson. He scored the game-winning goal in playoffs last year against the Richmond Kickers. And they'll be looking for him to come off the bench and make that impact in this one in his return. John Perlman mentioned that Derry Korf came into the season healthy and in great shape, but then suffered an injury. And then he suffered that injury as we also get a Daniel substitution between Daniel Bloyu and Danny Bedoya. That substitution also brought to you by Right Shirt. So get some fresh legs in there. Throw what you got at the man downside in Fort Madison. And there's Korf there. But they love what they have in Derry Korf in FC Tucson. Upgrading from the number 9 jersey to the number 10. There's that added responsibility of wearing that famed number. Korf knocks it out to the right side to Bloyu, the other substitution. We've got another corner kick. Nova home loan Sunrise Branch corner kick.
Let's make some noise for this Nova home loan Sunrise Branch corner kick.
Louis Perez looking to make something happen here on this corner kick. Ball comes swinging inside, diving header goes down, cleared away. Some players appealing for a handball. They're not going to get it. That's that for now. Big thing for Tucson is they got to continue to knock this ball around. Continue to prod at Madison. Got the player advantage. Here's Allen. Been pressed against the wall. It's gonna stay Tucson throw. Nicky Maldonado, the one who is pressing up against Tyler Allen. Two players who, I imagine, played each other last year, but both wearing different jerseys to the ones they're wearing today. As this game continues to wear on, I imagine you'll see that more and more from forward Madison. Giving the boot up the pitch. And now we'll have to hold strong. Combining the likes of Eric Leonard with the Madison background, Andrew Wheeler-Omiunu, who played at Sacramento Republic last year with Matt Glazer, also a smart guy. And then Mitch Osmond, who wears the captain's armband, having that international resume. That's the fun part about all this, according to Glazer, combining those guys along with other voices to create the leadership core of this team and to take account all their voices and their experiences. Jeremiah Strang. He's got numbers backing him up, but he passes it behind them. Would have been a good moment to create a chance despite having the player disadvantage, but nothing to come of it. Mentioned at halftime, there were 7 USL League One versus USL Championship Open Cup games in the second round this past week. And John Perlman's side, one of those games against the Las Vegas Lights got the victory. But in those matches, USL League One was 5-2 against the championship, which is that is an impressive disparity. So we get some more Madison subs. Justin Suko will go in for Derek Gebhard. There's one sub. At a right sure substitution. And then Cesar Murillo will come into the game for Audie Jepson. Murillo, another one of those familiar faces in other League One clubs, played for Greenville last year, and then was North Texas prior to that, this right sure substitution. Fun thing about Cesar Murillo, he is the only player in the USL to have 2 League One titles, having one with North Texas the first year, and then Greenville the second year. Spent 2 years with the Triumph. Never really got to break into that starting back line of the Greenville Triumph. That's so consistent and sturdy. That shot played towards Phil Brino, ultimately of no threat from Luis Perez. Andrew Wheeler-Omiunu plays it out wide. A lot of heat behind that pass. Back by Tucson. Calixtro is able to hold off the bearing Wheeler-Omiunu. Now Allen. Loyu. That's a good stab, winning the ball back for forward Madison. Maldonado. Goal scorer Enriquez. And they'll do what they can to chisel out this clock. 15 minutes plus added time to go. With 350 days of sunshine a year and wide open spaces ready for you to explore, Tucson is perfect for your next adventure. Check out visittucson.org or find us on your favorite social channel. Another free kick for Forward Madison. Gonna call that on Derry Korf. Jeremiah Strang is on the ground now. All the Madison players are making their way towards their teammate. He's going to have to get some help waved onto the pitch.
Tonight's attendance, 1,482.
So let's take a look at the right shore substitution on what happened. Just got hit in the face. Just ran into Jacob Crowell there. Bit of a collision, and I don't feel good. Madison trying to hang on here. Now been over 10 minutes since they've been down a man. So we're gonna get two more Tucson substitutions. Charlie Matchell gonna come into the game for Muang Sunday. So subbed into the game and now subbing out. And then Elijah Winder going to come in for Burke Failing. Burke Failing as he gets subbed off. So let's see if Tucson can, with these new players, break through and find the leveling goal they need. Looking for their first points of the season. Those substitutions brought to you by Rightshire. Enriquez light on his feet. Quick passes trying to keep Tucson chasing. Blow You wins it back. Now here comes Derry Korf and Tucson. Korf trying to work past his man. They get tangled up. That's going to be a free kick for FC Tucson. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access, Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the SXM app. So this could be a big moment here for FC Tucson. Gotta find a goal here soon. It's Korf and Perez behind it. Korf sends this one inside. Oh, that was almost on goal. And actually may have been. Brino might have gotten a touch on it. We're going to get a corner kick. Let's take a closer look. Brino, I think, got a touch on it. He did get a piece of it. That's a far-range shot from Derry Korf. As we get this Nova Home Loan Sunrise Branch corner kick. The home side searching and searching for that equalizing goal. Luis Perez will provide the service. Not a bad ball. And it clips a forward Madison player. Perez back on it. Chips it back inside, headed towards goal. And FC Tucson find that equalizer. And it's the substitute, Elijah Winder, subbing into the game and making a difference. That goal brought to you by Cicharo. And it's Tucson's first goal of the League One season, coming from the 19-year-old. A great ball, and in it goes. As you see another look at it again. Looks like there's going to be a yellow card. Dished out to Charlie Matchell. Maybe some unsportsmanlike behavior.
Confirmation. FC Tucson number 16, Jacob Crowell, credited for the goal.
They're going to call the goal for Jacob Crowell instead of Elijah Winder. So Crowell, who scored the goal, the first goal of the Open Cup, has now scored the goal, their first goal of the season for FC Tucson. That goal brought to you by Cicharo. So we have got a level game here, and now Tucson, with still some ample time, can start thinking about 3 points. Jacob Crowell coming from Carmel, Indiana, last played with Union Omaha, so already has a title to his name. He played over 1,700 minutes last year for the Owls. Below you. So to the left side. Now Tyler Allen. Below you. Switches it over to the left-hand side. And Korf lets it go by him. Maybe a miscommunication between him and Weir on the left-hand side. And he thought he was making the run by it. The next home match for FC Tucson will be on April 30th as they host Tormenta FC. Visit fctucson.com/tickets to get yours today. Barreling through Cassini there is Luis Perez. We have a little bit more fun now that it's a level game. Have a chance to take the victory here. Up a man, already have 1 goal. We have another late game goal to set this one apart. Both teams looking for that first win this season. Osman all the way down the pitch and into the hands of Marancio. So a goal from Enriquez and a goal from Jacob Kroll. The difference in this one thus far. Blow you. Good touch to Perez. Perez is able to win another corner kick. They didn't score directly off the set piece, but it might as well have been. This Nova home loan Sunrise Branch corner kick. Can Tucson now take the lead here? Luis Perez will stand behind it. That one has a little more air on it. And the header left a lot to be desired. Tyler Allen dashing down. Perez is able to connect with Winder. Winder squares it. Calixtro over to the left-hand side. Crowell, and stumbling back is Weir. So we get another goal kick. FC Tucson fans head down to American Eat Company, American Eat Co., for a watch party as they travel to take on the Chattanooga Red Wolves on April 23rd at 4:30 p.m. And busy, busy, busy. They have this game. They have the Open Cup game on Tuesday, and then a game on Saturday against the ever-fiery Chattanooga. But today is still at hand. Korf gets it to Calixtro. They were going to play on, but now the yellow card will be dished out. Andrew Wheeler Omiunu is going to get his first of the day. This Vantage West Credit Union yellow card. Not down a player. We're trying to hang on to the victory, now looking to hang on to the point. Just bucks into Derry Korf. Not a bad service. It's brought down, but the whistle is blown. Bad collision between Mastrantonio and Eric Leonard. That'll end that opportunity in its tracks. I'm sure that man would be a little bit happier if they could notch in one more. Meanwhile, Madison looking to hang on here. Donato goes down. That'll be a Madison free kick. That's the interesting thing. When you're a player down, it's really the least bit evident in set piece opportunities. So maybe if they can just get a good ball served to the right body, maybe they try to retake the lead here. Haven't been on the offensive end for quite a while now. Just trying to bunker down and hang on. Service comes in, punched away by Morancio. Good track back by Osmond. Ball comes in again. Headed back into the middle. They have a player down. Here's the shot towards. And it's off the mark. Eric Leonard had the chance, bouncing to him at the top of the 18. "5 minutes of added time," brought to you by Smoothie King. Looks like it's going to be a corner kick. Must have suffered a deflection. So another corner kick. Madison here on this Nova Home Loan Sunrise Branch corner. Cassini and Maldonado are by. It'll be a tap in. Maldonado's just going to opt to camp it. The decision is we're trying to hang on. And that's some gamesmanship. So the booking on Mikey Maldonado, his second of the season, brought to you by Vantage West Credit Union. They've decided that they're not going to go for goal, and they're just going to try and hang this one out and get the point. I have to acknowledge that Ford Madison were the draw club last year, having a ton of draws last season, and right now hoping to start off the season with 3 of them. Korf shrugging off his man a couple times. Taps it out to his left. Another ball swinging inside. Leonard heads it away. Korf gonna chase it down. He collides into the defender and will go into the book. Derek Korf in his Tucson debut this season.
FC Tucson, number 10, Derek Korf.
Looking to get back into fit shape, coming off of an injury. Here's a good exchange moving forward for Madison. 1 minute to go. Oh, the back heel from Cassini. Cassini fires a shot, wins a corner kick for Madison. Mateus Cassini looking to pull something out of his hat in the last moments. And we've got another Nova Home Loan Sunrise Branch corner kick. As we approach the death of this game, can Madison, will they opt to take a kick or will they camp it in the corner again? This time looks like they're gonna send this one in. Down a man, Madison. Ball goes in, looks good, headed towards goal. Oh, off the mark. He had the chance to connect on it. But at the end, it's still 1-1. Tucson, will they be given a chance to put one more opportunity? Allen squares it in the middle, and it pops back out, and it's knocked away, and that will do it. Madison, hang on. They don't get the victory, but they do get the draw after going down a man in the 64th minute. It's a 1-1 draw. The home side in their debut for the league season, at home at least, will get a point, their first point of the season. I'm sure a more frustrating result for John Perlman's side than for Matt Glazer's crew. 1-1, your final. Both goals coming in the second half. Let's take a look at our play of the game to start things off. And it's the goal from Jacob Crowell. Ball swung inside, and he just veered around at the right moment. And see it there. Winding in, knocking it through, and finding that equalizer. They kept pushing after going up a man. And Crowell receives the celebration, deserved, scoring both the first Open Cup goal, so he scored the first goal of the competitive season, and then scored their first league goal. Opa's best play of the match right there for you. And then here is our man of the match, Jacob Crowell. He may be on the back line acting as a center back, but has 2 goals in competitive play this season. So proving to be a weapon in those crossing moments. Standing at 6 feet tall. He is our Smoothie King man of the match. He'll get some congratulations. Looking to find a victory. They do get a point. Now let's take a look at our save of the match coming up. We'll get to you right now. Here's a look at it. It's punched away by Carlos Marancio. That is Opa's best save of the match. Carlos Marancio did well in this one. Did get caught off guard that one moment. As we get the post-game discussions, Mitch Osmond, Derry Korf with some pleasantries after the whistle was blown. And with that, we're going to step aside for one more break. When we come back, we'll have the full-time highlights and stats here on ESPN+.
Kick off your shoes and go barefoot with us. Laugh with us. Sip barefoot wine with us. Surprise with us. Good times with us. Celebrate you with us. The best times are barefoot with us. Groove with us. Bust a move with us. Always be there with us. Be you with us. Barefoot with us.
Our third draw of the Saturday in Week 3 of League One action. 1-1 your final score here between Tucson and Forward Madison. This in your CARF International post-game show. Let's take a look at the highlights from this one, as we may have been a little bit uneventful in the first 45, but in the second 45, things got a little bit more interesting on these highlights, brought to you by CARF International. And it starts with this. The pressure, winning the ball back for Christian Enriquez. He sees the opening, he takes the shot, and he takes advantage of Carlos Marancio. Some heated pressure from 2 different players. It spills out to Enriquez. He has the room, and he lets it fly. Then this ball gets hoofed into the air, and this is where things really got saucy. Cyrus Rod being given his second yellow card on this challenge on Danny Bedoya, which puts him not only out of the game, but Madison down a man. So they have to hold on. And Luis Perez pops the one inside, and Jacob Crowell nods it home. Excellent work to find the equalizing goal. I'm sure they would have loved to get a second one since they had the advantage for so long in the player department, but at least they're able to find their first points of the season and get in on the point sheet in that regard as we now look at the CARF International full-time stats. Pretty even split for the most part. You would imagine the possession favored Tucson once Cyrus Rod left the game. Like I said, Tucson may be a little more disappointed that they only come away with the point. Madison, though, I imagine this will err more on the side of they're happy they got the point as opposed to disappointed. They were able to hold on. They were able to make it through and will go away with something in their hands as they head home. And with that, that is the end of our broadcast today and the end of the day in USL League One action for our entire broadcasting crew. Thank you for tuning in and watching this broadcast. My name is Mark Schoenster. Until next time here on ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.